Hi everybody, it's Charlie here again, TK641. I'm one of your CO candidates. At the end of the last video, I promised you I'd come back and answer some questions that either a lot of people had asked or people I felt were very important. With that said, I'm going to go ahead and do a quick recap of what I've already answered. And I'll go ahead and start with one from Trenton. Now, he realized I mentioned the importance of reaching out to new areas, but he's also concerned of areas that we have that are currently in need of some outreach of their own. Now, he's been part of our garrison since it was part of the Central Garrison, and during that time he felt as if Missouri and Kansas had been left out quite frequently and was forgotten. And right now he realizes we've had a good number of growth, a good number of new members join in the past few years, but he's concerned about other areas that might feel as he did 5 years ago. He wants to know, if I'm CO, what am I going to do to change this and help stimulate growth in this area? The answer to that is really quite simple. We need more events with a large number of troops there. I mean, nothing's more impressive than 20 stormtroopers and, Darth Vader and some other people there. Because once you start getting a large number of people showing up, it goes from just being a couple weirdos or nerds or whatever you want to call us to actually being a legitimate organization. And then people realize that, we start getting more coverage. And when we get coverage, we get interviews. Interviews leads to more people finding out about us. Then the people get curious. They start asking questions. Then after they ask questions, they usually end up joining. And once that happens, from there it's just a snowball effect. We just start growing rapidly, and that's the best way to handle this situation. Andy asked, what problems do I see inherent with the 70th Explorers Garrison, if any? And what would I do to fix them if elected? This is a tough question to ask, and it's an even tougher question to answer. Because no matter how you answer it, you're going to upset somebody, and not everybody's going to like the way you answer it. With that said, the main problem I see within our garrison is that certain groups have started to form really close bonds, which is a good thing. But I've also noticed at the bigger conventions that we have that a lot of us go to, and a lot of different members from the different areas go and troop, they tend not to really hang out with the other troopers or get to know them much. That's not good. I mean, in order to become a top tier garrison, we need the entire garrison to function like these groups, and not just certain areas of our garrison. And that'll hold us back if we don't fix this problem. The way I see to fix this problem is pretty simple. I want to set up an incentive plan for hospitality, basically. Let's say we have Robert and Farron have something going in Chinook, or we have something in Cape Girardeau and there's some out-of-town troopers coming. They need a place to stay, or maybe they need a meal because they're a little short on cash. Well, if you let these members, if you help them out, if you let them stay with you, or maybe give them breakfast or something, go ahead and let me know, and then I will go ahead and confirm with the members that you mentioned. If they said yes, you did help them, I will put a mark by your name. At the end of the year at our Christmas or New Year's party, I will go ahead and put all the names in the hat, and you get one entry per mark by your name. The person that has helped the most gets a big prize regardless. I'm thinking something along the lines of a $50 gift certificate to wherever they choose. All the other ones will get entered, like I said, into a drawing, and we will draw names. And I'll have prizes like patches or challenge coins or like hard to find figures. Just throwing an example out there, be like a McQuarrie Boba Fett or a Darth Revan, something along those lines. And we'll give those out when your name is drawn. Everybody likes free stuff. Everybody loves the thrill of a lottery. And if we can do that and help each other out at the same time, why not? Another question that has been asked by numerous people is, how do you feel about the command staff being spread out amongst our covered area? It's essential. We have to do it. Point blank. If we don't do it, we don't get all the different perspective and viewpoints from the entire area. If we don't do that, there's no possible way we can become a top tier garrison. We'll just remain, a second tier garrison. And we're too big, We cover too much of a space. We have to have somebody from everywhere. Josh asked a two-part question. First part, on average, how much time per week do you spend with fellow Garrison members in person doing costuming mods, hanging out in general, just socializing? The second part, how much importance do you place on bonding with fellow Garrison members in person versus online? Well, the first part, I live with 2 members of the 70th. I work with 4. Needless to say, I spend a lot of time with those. And even the ones I don't see on a daily basis, we still spend somewhere between 25 to 30 hours a week with each other. We're constantly helping each other with armor. We're going to movies. We're playing airsoft or having LAN games with Halo or Battlefront. And in a lot of these times, we know their husbands or wives. We know their kids. We know their pets. Some instances, we know their parents and their grandparents and the rest of their families. And that helps you because at that point, you become family even though you're not blood. The second part of the question, the importance I put on bonding with somebody in person versus online. Obviously, I prefer in person. If I didn't, I wouldn't be doing this. No, unfortunately, I won't get to meet most of you before the elections. This is my way to kind of put myself out there so you can know me. You get to know me not as well as in person, but a lot better if you just read something that I wrote down. CJ's asked, on the subject of good communication, which just came up in all 3 threads now, how important do you feel being a people person is to being the CO? And if important, do you consider yourself one? I mean, it's very important. If you're the figurehead of something, you have to be a people person. Back in high school and junior high, I was captain of numerous sports: baseball, track, basketball, soccer, hockey. I was president and leader of many clubs like History Club, Science Club, Scholar Bowl. Just really too much to name here and go on about. And, through my experiences, if you're the leader of something and you're not a people person, no one's going to like it, no one's going to join. You're going to become stagnant and even lose members. You have to be a people person in order to do this job. If you're not one, you shouldn't be running in the first place. The last question I went ahead and pulled out was asked by Sarah. This is one that's been asked by quite a few people in just some different form. She asked, our sister garrison, the Rebel Legion, has grown significantly in the last year in both numbers and quality. This includes our local Missouri-Kansas counterpart. As CO, what do you foresee as a relationship between the groups, and what am I going to do to facilitate this? And she also puts that she saw my post regarding the cooperation I want to see between the Jedi Assembly, the Rebel Legion, and the Fan Forces. She wants me to elaborate on this. Well, first off, let me go ahead and say that I do know our counterpart's name's Dantooine Base because I'm a tri-member down here in the Springfield area. I'm 501st, I'm Rebel Legion, and I'm Fan Force. The simple thing is, get on their forum. Let them know we're having an event. If I can't get on their forum and get a hold of them, I tell their CO because I'm really, really good friends with the CO and the BMO, the Base Membership Officer, which is like our GML of the Rebel Legion of Dantooine Base. And some of you might not know, they're actually members of the 70th. I'm really good friends with the CO of the Springfield Fan Force. I'm roommates with the XO. So getting a hold of these people won't be a problem. If I have a problem getting a hold of the rest of them, they'll be more than happy to help. They can get the phone numbers for me, or they can call the members themselves and send the emails. And then in general, getting more people there, getting a wider variety will help the experience for the kids a lot more. Because let's face it, as blasphemous as this may sound, not everyone's favorite characters of Imperial origin. Some people actually prefer Lando, Luke, Han over Stormtroopers, Boba Fett. Yeah, I know everybody loves Boba Fett, but some people would rather see the Rebels. And Vader. I had one last question asked. It was pertaining to pudding cups. This one's for CJ. Just so you know, my favorite is the butterscotch.